welcome back to my channel. My name is Laura, and today I am doing my most anticipated new releases, and there is a ton of books coming out, and I'm only going to do 11 books. I know it's a strange number. I was going to do top 10 Tuesday. So I have 11 books picked out. 2 of them are actually on my reading 2016 reading list. So they were picked out by others. And I'm going to do, I only looked through all the books from January to June. So these are, I will tell you when they're released and what genre they are. So the very first book is a book that someone picked, either a friend or a booktuber or a family member picked this book. And I don't know if I would read it. So I did pre-order it because it is on my 2016 reading list. And the book that I picked out, it's coming out January 5th. It's called Passenger by Alexander Bracken. So it looks like this. Okay. And it is YA fantasy. It's about time travel and it's historical fiction. So I have a thing about fantasy. I don't really like fantasy, so this will be a challenge to read. So but I did pre-order this one, and I'm hoping that the time travel and the historical fiction will make me like this book. So that is the first book. So the second book is also coming out on January 5th, and I also pre-ordered this one because this one is also on my 2016 reading list. Someone recommended that I read it, and this is fantasy YA. And it's called The Imposter Queen by Sarah Finn. So there you go. That's what it looks like. And that is also going to be a challenge for me because, as I said, fantasy gives me a stumble when I read. So that's that one. Okay, so now coming in at books that I picked out. So starting on January 19th, this book is being released. It is a YA contemporary thriller mystery novel, and the reason I picked this one out is because I read another book by this author and I really like the author's writing style. So I don't want to know really much about the book. It's just because I'm buying it because I like the author's other book. So the author's name is Jennifer Brown, and she is coming out with a book called Shade Me, and it will look like this. So that's really cool. It is about a thriller and mystery. So yeah, sounds pretty interesting. So coming in on January 26th is a book that is going to be a YA contemporary and mental health book. And this one I picked out because it is about memory loss, and I love reading books about memory loss. The book title of the book is called The Memory of Light by Francisca X. Stork, and it will look like this. So yeah, anything with memory, I really like to read those books, so I added that one to my TBR. The next book is coming out on January 26th, and this one is another author by. I have read 3 books by this author, and I really enjoyed it. The author's name is Kiera Cass. She wrote the Selection series, and she's coming out with another book. I don't know if it's a series or if it's just a standalone book. It's not the part of the Selection series. It's called The Siren. It's fantasy YA and about mermaids. So that's this one. It's called The Siren. So that's pretty cool. Love the cover. So the next book is an author by, definitely. It's coming out on January 26th and is another book by Michael Grant. And no, I haven't read any Michael Grant books, but he wrote the Gone series, and I have to read Gone. It is on my 2016 reading list. But this one is about World War II, and it's YA, and I like reading about World War II. It is called The Front Lines, and there it is. So that's pretty cool. So that's by Michael Grant. So that I'm hoping to get that one. Another book coming out in February 2nd, is another YA, and it is a World War II book again. And it is by Ruta Sepitis. I don't know how to say the author's name, but I did read something of hers before. I read historical fiction that she wrote, and I really enjoyed it. And so I want to read this one. It's called Salt to the Sea. So that's this one. So, yeah. So I like to read that one. So on February 23rd, another book by Victoria Scott is coming out. I read Fire and Flood and loved it. I didn't read her second book, but I love Fire and Flood. She's coming out with a new series, I think. I don't know if it's a series or a standalone. It's a new book called Titans. It's fantasy, science fiction, and it's YA, and it will look like this. A lot of blue books. So that's this. The next book is coming out on March 3rd. And it is part of the series I already started reading. It's Kara Cass again. She is coming out with book 5 of the selection series. I read book 1, 2, and 3. I still had to read The Heir. But Crown is coming out, and that's fantasy, science fiction, dystopia. And that's The Crown. So, yeah, very pretty pink cover. So I will have to read that. I have to read The Heir first, though. On May 10th, another of my favorite authors is coming out in a new book, and this will be a YA contemporary. The author's name is Matthew Quick. I have read 2 books by him, and I loved both books that I read, so I'm hoping to like this one as well. And it is called Every Exquisite Thing. So it will look like this. So this is coming out May 10th. And the last book that I have picked out is coming out on June 14th. And it is a YA short story book. And I read the Christmas one. I didn't really like it very much. I gave it a 3-star, and I actually gave my book away. There was only one story that I really liked, which was the Snoopy one. So I traded my book in with the used bookstore, and but a summer one is coming out called Summer Days and Summer Nights. It's 12 stories, 12 love stories, and it will look like this. It kind of matches. I might have to buy my winter book again. I'm hoping that I will like this more than the winter one, but this one is coming out, and also on July 18th, Read with Friends is going to be reading this book, so I plan to read that in July. So those are all the books that I picked out all the way up to June. So there's a lot of books there. So anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you got some insight. And I'll see you in another video. Like and subscribe. See you. Bye.